Anyone is having any doubt in the previous class how this multiplication is done in sequential manner? This example. If no doubt, then we will continue with signed operand multiplication. Okay. So signed operand multiplication, I have told you there are two cases. Case one is that the multiplier is positive and multiplicand is negative. So in signed operand multiplication, one has to be negative. Any one, multiplicand or multiplier. Multiplicand means the first one, this one is multiplicand, this second one is multiplier. Okay, so in this case multiplicand is negative. So if this is the case, then how to solve this? Just extend the sign bit of the partial product. Okay, so extend the sign bit of the partial product. What is that mean? That means that, 1 minute, that means you can multiply the two numbers by extending the sign bit. Here you can see the first product, the sign bit is extended, 1 1 1 1 1, 4 ones are added. Okay, in the second partial product 3 ones are added, in second and third partial product 0 ones are added, 2 zeros are added, or three zeros are added, and in the fourth one 2 ones are added, and in the fifth one 0 is added. Okay, so that's the sign extension. So hopefully you remember what is sign extension. If you don't you have not remembered, let's go to chapter number I think chapter number 2. Okay, this one. So here I have told you what is sign extension. Sign extension means whatever is in the MSB bit, whatever is the sign, just extend it further. Okay, so previously, suppose why it is needed? Suppose we have a 4-bit number, we have to represent it in 8-bit space, so we have to extend the MSB bit, that is the sign bit, so that whole 8-bit will be fitting inside the register. Okay, and same in case of a negative number as well. The sign bit is 1, that means what? You have to extend it further. This is called the sign extension. Okay, so if you are increasing so if your multiplier is positive and multiplicand is negative, then you have to use this method. Okay, so then there is a case 2 as well, the opposite one, when multiplier is negative and multiplicand is also negative. So in that case, what you have to do, you have to take the 2's complement of both multiplier and multiplicand and proceed as further. In this case also you can proceed as further. In this case also you can proceed as before. Proceed as before means this part. Okay, like you are doing a positive number multiplication, you can do the same thing here as well. Okay, so here what we are doing, if you are converting this 2 into 2's complement representation, then obviously we are converting the negative numbers to positive numbers, and then we are doing the multiplication. Okay, because you know, if you multiply two negative numbers, the output will be a positive number. Okay, and if you are taking the 2's complement, that means we are only changing the sign of the these two numbers. Okay, the value will be same in 2's complement representation, so that's why we want to convert these two into positive number. How it will be converted? Using 2's complement, and then we will multiply them. Okay, and in the case 1, negative multiplicand, positive multiplier, you just have to keep on doing the previous work, but here what we are doing, the C is having the carry, but in this case it will not have the carry, it will have the extended sign bit. We will see how to do it. Okay, So let's go to an example. Okay, so in this example, let's start with m value is given and q value is given. M value is 1101, q value is 0100. So it is you remember that these two numbers are in two's complement form, negative and positive number. Okay, this is two's complement representation of sign number. Okay, so m is 1101 means it is a negative number because the sign bit is 1. 0 means the q is a positive number. Okay, so to find out what is the decimal equivalent number for these two, what we will do, we just have to take the 2's complement of this. So what is the 2's complement of this? Leave the first bit because that is a sign bit, obviously it will be negative. So take 101. Okay, find the 1's complement 010, then find the 2's complement, that is 011. Okay, 2's complement by adding 1. Okay, if you are having any problem, then let me know. Okay, so it is 3. This is the binary number for 3. So minus will be there because it is a negative number and the value is 3. Okay, so 1101 represent minus 3. If you remember, in chapter number 2 we have seen, in chapter number 2, this is chapter number 2. Okay, so this is our the positive and negative number representation in 4 bits. Okay, so minus 3 is this one, 1101. Okay, so how you got the 1101? By doing the 2's complement of 0011. Okay, so 1101 represents minus 3. So that's why we also got here minus 3. 1101 is minus 3. Okay, done. These things are not required if in question if m and q are given. These things are not required. I am just telling you what is the decimal equivalent of these two numbers, so that after doing the multiplication we will find out what will be the result. Okay, so this is minus 3 and obviously it is a positive number and it is 0100. Okay, so you don't need to take the 2's complement, but even if you will take the 2's complement, the output will be 4. Okay, so yesterday somebody was asking how the 2's complement of a positive number is the same number. So this is the answer. Okay, so after doing this, you have taken you got a number called 4 here and there is a number minus 3 here. So minus 3 into 4, the output will be minus 12. Okay, so minus 12, again we have to represent it in 2's complement form. So let's take the just normal binary of this 12. What is the normal binary of 12? 1100. This is the normal binary for 12. Okay, normal binary means just take number 12 and convert it into binary, you will get 1100. Okay, then take the 1's complement, then take the 2's complement. So at the end you will get this number. Okay, previously it was 4 bit, the output is also 4 bit. We have added a sign 1 because it is a negative number. So this is the representation of negative minus 12, 10100. Okay, up to this anybody has any doubt, you can ask how to convert binary number to 2's complement to decimal. Any doubt you can ask, because after this we will start with the multiplication. Okay, so m is given here, q is given here. From the sign I can tell that m is a negative number, q is a positive number, so it is coming under case number 1. Okay, so multiplicand is m, multiplier is q. Okay, multiplier is always represented as q, multiplicand is represented as capital M. Okay, So this is the case 1, so we have to extend the sign bit and do the product. Okay, so what does that mean? We will have the similar arrangement like before. So we will have a carry flip flop, C flip flop, a single bit. We have a register, we have a Q register. Okay, this is the hardware. A register, there is a Q register, there is a C flip flop. Okay, here is M. Okay, so M and A will be added, both will be added if the last bit is a 1. If it is 0, there is no addition. Okay, if the last bit is 0, then there is no addition, only shift operation will be performed. If the last bit is 1, then there will be a add operation. Okay, and whenever it is add operation, M and A value will be added. Okay, so let's start with the example. Simple. Okay, so if you want, you can have your note copy and write with me. I am going to erase all these things. Okay, so if you have a copy, then better get it, because it is very much important topic, long question. Okay, so I have removed it and I will do it, and if you want, you can do it with me. Okay, so 3 registers are there, C, A, Q, and there is a M register. Okay, so first, step 1, you have to check the last bit in Q register. This 0 says that no add operation. Okay, no add operation means whatever is the data will be same, there will be no change in any register. Okay, and obviously after a no add operation or add operation, there will be a shift right operation. Okay, so shift right operation means this 0 will come here, this 0 will go 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 to this register, this 0 will be here, 1 will be here, this 0 will be here, and this 0 will, the last 0 will go out of the register. Understood? And what will be the sign here? The C will carry 0. Why? Because we have to extend the sign. What is the sign of the MSB number? 0. So we have to extend it here, 0. Okay, that's what is sign extension. Very simple. Okay, next, any doubt in first step? What will be the second step? We have to check again the last bit, and we have seen that there is no add operation. Okay, 0 means no addition operation. So whatever the content inside the register, it will be same. Okay, just copy the previous values. Okay, and obviously there will be a shift right. Okay, right side shifting will be there, so sign bit is extended 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 1. Okay, it is shifted to the right side. Okay, any doubt? All bits are shifted to the right side by 1 position. Okay, now we will see what is the last bit. The last bit is 1, that means add M. Okay, then what will happen? We have to add M value and A value. Okay, so what is the current A value? 0 0 0 0. What is M value? 1 1 0 1. So both addition will be 1 1 0 1. Okay, both the addition output will be 1 1 0 1. And what is the sign? 1. So we have extended the sign to C register as well. Okay, next this will be the same. Okay, any doubt up to this? You can unmute and ask anytime. Okay, So after this there will be a shift right operation. Okay, so all bits will be shifted. So whenever this one will be shifted here, what will be the content inside C? 1, because we are extending the sign. Then 1 1 1 0 1 0 0 0. Okay, we have shifted to the right side. If you cannot understand, let me show you. These things are shifted towards right side. All bits are shifted to the right side. Okay, now we have to again do the fourth step. In the fourth step, again we have to see the last bit. Last bit says that it is a 0, so no add operation, only shift operation. Okay, so just copy it, all the data from the previous stage, just copy the data. Then you have to do the shift right operation. So to do the shift right operation, we just have to do 1 1 1 1 1 0 1 0 0. Okay, done. And fourth step is over. So now whatever is the register content is your result. So this is your result, and if you do the math, this is your result 1 0 1 0 0. This 1 0 1 0 0. Okay, any doubt up to this? Anyone is having any doubt? These are all sign extended. Okay, so sign will be ignored. Any doubt? If you still want to verify if it is 12 or not, you can verify like this. Okay, so you can verify like just copy the result 1111 0100. Okay, then remove the first sign, that is your negative sign. Okay, remove it, take the rest 7 number of bits. Okay, so you remove the first sign. Let me remove the first sign. First sign is of no use. Okay, because we already know from the first sign it is a negative number. Okay, then what we will do, we will just do the 2's complement of this. Okay, so 2's complement of this. So first we will do the 1's complement. 1's complement means all the bits will be inverted. 0 will be 1, 1 will be 0. Okay, this is the result. Then 2's complement is just add plus 1 to it, and the result will be this one. So 110 means what? 110 means 12. Okay, 12 means we have to give a negative sign here, and it is the minus 12. So whenever we will multiply minus 3 and minus 4, we will get minus 12. Okay, have you understood clearly? This is a long question. Okay, or if you have any doubt you can ask, otherwise we will go to case number 2. Okay, we'll do the same thing in case number 2, but there will be no sign extension. Okay, so case number 1 says that just extend the bit. So whenever whatever is the sign bit here, you have to extend it to C. Okay, and whenever you will right shift, also extend the same bit. Think that there are n number of bits here. Okay, after this n number of bits, all are having same sign. Okay, so whenever there is a 1, you have lots of ones here. So whenever you will do the right shift, you will get only ones here. Okay, done. Okay, next we will go for case number 2. Okay, in case number 2, what it says, in case number 2, both will be negative. Both top and bottom numbers both are negative number. Then what you have to do, you have to take the 2's complement of both multiplier and multiplicand. Then what will happen, both will be positive number, and if both will be positive number, you can use this method as well, the previous method. and you can do your work. Okay, so that's very easy. You just have to do 2's complement and all other steps will be same. Okay, so this is your example for case number 2, where both negative multiplier and multiplicand both are negative. So we have taken a number called 1101 and 1011. Okay, so to know what are these two numbers, we can do the 2's complement, and at the end we can find out that one is -3, another one is -5. Okay, so these are the two numbers. Okay, from the question it is given. Okay, so the first step is take the 2's complement, because we have seen that the sign bit is negative for both. So let's do the 2's complement. What is the 2's complement? M value is 0011, Q value is 0101 after 2's complement. Now just copy these values to the corresponding registers and start the process. Okay, so always we start with A is equal to 0000. The A register is always 0000. Okay, so the Q is the 2's complement of the original number. Okay, Q is the 2's complement of the original number. M is also the 2's complement of the original number. We will not just copy this one, we have to do the 2's complement and then copy. Okay, because it is case number 2. Done. Then after this all other things are same. Check the first bit, it is 1, then add with M. So 0000 added with 0011. Okay, output will be 0011. Should I do it step by step again, or you will be fine? Just check this bit, add or no add, then shift right. Then again check the last bit and see what operation to be performed, add or no add, and then shift right. This is the thing, this you have to do 4 number of times for a 4-bit number. Should I do it or it will be okay? Anyone? Okay. Okay, then just let me explain step by step, then I will not write it again. Okay, so just take in the first iteration, take the first bit, whatever is the first bit, rightmost bit, it is 1. 1 means add M. Okay, 1 means add M operation. M value is this one, A value is this one, add both of them. Okay, so the output is 0011. Okay, rest will be same, rest values will be same. Then do the right shift operation. Okay, do the right shift operation. Done. Then check the last bit again for your cycle number 2. Okay, 0 means no add operation. So what we will do, just copy the whole content as it is. Okay, that means no add operation means no operation, you don't have to do anything in this step. Only you have to add whenever the last bit is 1. Okay, whenever the last bit is 1, you have to do something, some addition. Then you do the again right shift operation. Okay, after the right shift operation, again go to the third step, check the last number, it is a 1, so add M. So the previous A value is this one, M value is this one, both will be added. Okay, the output will be 0011. Okay, then do the shift right operation, this is the result. Then check the last value for the 4th iteration. 0 means no add operation. No add operation means copy the previous content as it is, no need to change anything. Okay, then shift right. So after you do the shift right operation, this is the result. 4 steps are over, your result is you have received the result. Okay, 1111, that's the 15. So what are the two number? 5 into 3, 15. Okay, multiplication is done. So that is the simple thing. Okay, any doubt up to this? Very simple operation. Okay, so if everybody understood, then you have to do it. Case number 3. This I will not do for you. Okay. Case number 3 says that there is a negative multiplier and there is a positive multiplicand. So this case we have not seen here. In case number 1, we have seen that it is a negative multiplicand. Here also it is a negative multiplicand. What if the top one is the positive one? What will happen when the multiplicand is positive and multiplier is negative? In that case, what to do? So that is the case number 3. You have to tell me, write the question, write this question and solve it, and whoever can solve it, I will give you 5 marks in CT2. Okay, but who will solve it fast? I will post this question on Classroom. Whoever will solve it, take the photo, scan the copy and post it on the comment. Okay, Google Meet. Not Google Meet, Google Classroom. So this is your question. You have to post the result in Google Classroom. Okay, I am posting this question. What is the question? M is equal to 0 1 1 0, M is equal to 0 1 1 0, and Q is equal to 1 1 1 0. Okay, so just solve it on your paper and then comment it here. Okay, whoever will comment it correctly first, he will be getting 5 mark in CT2. So you have to attend only 15 mark question in CT2. Okay, done. Then we will go for the next multiplication algorithm, which is called Booth's algorithm. Why Booth's algorithm came? Because the multiplication is still slower. The multiplication is still slow. Okay, so that's why a new method came, which is called Booth's algorithm. Okay, why it is slow and how to improve, let's see. Okay, first problem in this case, in the normal this sequential multiplication, is that there are multiple cases. You have to handle these cases in different way. In some cases you have to do sign extension, in some cases you have to do 2's complement. So for these things you need extra number of extra hardwares to check if it is a negative multiplicand, if it is a positive or negative multiplier. So for checking we need extra hardware. Why there is not a global solution to all the cases? Okay, so in that case what we will do, we will combine these cases, means there will be no separate cases, all the numbers will be handled in generic way. Okay, that is the Booth's algorithm advantage. Booth's algorithm says that it handles both positive and negative multiplier in the same way. Okay, whatever is the number, it will be handling in the same way, either it will be negative or positive. That is the advantage. Okay, then also it makes the multiplication faster. But how to do the multiplication faster? In the previous step we have seen that whenever the multiplier is having lots of zeros, the multiplication is faster. Why? Because whenever you are getting lots of zeros in the multiplier, you have to do no add operation. Okay, so if we have a multiplier like 0 0 0 0, it is the fastest because you don't have to do addition operation. Okay, so why not do something so that the multiplier will have lots of zeros? Okay, that is the next Booth's algorithm objective. Why not convert this multiplier into such a representation where it has lots of zeros, less number of ones. Okay, so these are the two advantages of Booth's algorithm. So how to convert from lots of ones to less number of ones and lots of zeros? That is the Booth's algorithm coding scheme. Okay, so Booth algorithm will do what? Two things. It handles both positive and negative number in the same way, and it makes the multiplication faster by minimizing number of ones in multiplier. Okay, so take the multiplier and do some coding. Okay, code it. So how to do the coding? Let's see. Whenever, check this figure number 6.12. Whenever the I minus 1 bit, and bit number I, we are taking 2 bits into consideration. Okay, we want to code the multiplier based on this table. Whenever there is a 0 and 0 bit, we replace it as 0. Okay, when there is two consecutive bit having 0 and 0, we will replace it with 0. Whenever two consecutive bit from 1 and 0, that means always we will scan from the right side. Suppose this is the multiplier. Okay, this is a big multiplier. We have to scan from the right side. Okay, bit number I minus 1 to I, then I minus 1 I minus 1 I, like that we will scan from the right to left, and we will see which coding scheme is applicable for it. Okay, so if 1 and 0, then it will be multiplied with 1. If it is 0 and 1, then it will be multiplied with minus 1. Minus 1 means it is the 2's complement of the multiplicand. Okay, I will tell you what are the meaning of this. But whenever we will have two number of 1, we have to multiply it with nothing, that means 0. So what is the advantage of Booth's algorithm now? Whenever we have a multiplier like 0 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 0, okay, let's take one example in this case. Okay, 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. How many number of addition we have to do in this case? You can tell how many number of addition we have to do in this multiplication. Whenever we are doing sequential multiplication using the previous method, how many number of addition operation we have to do for multiplying these two number? How many number of addition operation we have to do for multiplying these two numbers? If we'll do this in the sequential steps like this, in the sequential step, how many number of add m operation we have to do for multiplying these two numbers? 7. Anyone else? 4, 6. Number of ones in multiplicand, not multiplicand, multiplier. Arun, it is the number of ones in multiplier. So in the multiplier, this is multiplicand, this is multiplier. Okay, so in multiplier, if it is 1 2 3 4 number of ones are there, we have to do 4 number of addition, because if it is, we always see what is the last number. In the first case, last number is 0, that means no addition. Okay, then there is a right shift. This whole register will be shifted towards the right. This 0 will go out from the register, then 1 will be the next last bit. So whenever there is a last bit is 1, we have to do the add operation. Whenever there is a last bit is 1, we have to do add operation. Whenever last bit is 1, we have to do add operation. Whenever last bit is 1, we have to do add operation. So there are 4 add operation in this case. Okay, then how to reduce these number of ones? Okay, and according to Booth's algorithm, you have seen that whenever there are lots of 1, we will be converting them to 0. Okay, So suppose here 4 number of ones are there. So what we will replace them with? It will be replace them with lots of zeros. Okay, so that's what the advantage of Booth's algorithm. Okay, now how to replace it, how to code it, let's see. Okay, so consider always whenever one multiplier is given. Okay, multiplier means the bottom number. Okay, the second number. Multiplier is given, this big multiplier is given. What we will do, we will add a 0. Okay, because we have to code this one also. So we have to always add a 0 to it. It is called implied 0. Okay, so let's put a 0 here, and then we will see what will be the code for this. So I minus 1 bit is 0, I bit is 0. I minus 1 bit is 0, I bit is 0. So what I will write? 0. This is the coded output 0. I minus 1 bit is 0, I bit is 0. What will be the output? 0. 0, 0 is 0. I minus 1 bit is 0, I bit is 1. 0, 1. Output minus 1. Okay. 1, 1. Output 0. 1, 1. Output is 0. Then 1, 0. 1, 0. Output is plus 1. Okay. Always scan from the right side to left side. Okay. Take the I minus bit and I bit, and result will be on the ith bit. Okay. So that's why this is I bit, this is I minus 1 bit, this 0. We have added extra 0. Okay. And after this, the output will be here. So 0, 0 output will be here. So there are lots of ones here. Let's see. When you go from 1 to 1, the output will be 0. When you go from 1 to 1, the output will be 0. Okay. Then when you go from 1 to 0, then 1 to 0 means plus 1. Okay. 1 to 0. When you go 0 to 0, output will be 0. Okay. Hopefully you understood the coding scheme. Very easy. Just check this table. Okay. So 0, 0, whenever you go to down 1 to 0, then you have to add plus 1. When you go up 0 to 1 voltage, then you have to give minus 1. Okay, these two things you have to remember. Rest 1, 1 is 0, 0, 0 is 0. Okay, now let's do the same multiplication that is there here. Okay, in this case you have to do 4 number of addition. In this case you have to do 4 add operation. Okay, now let's do the coding. Okay, how to do the coding? Let's take a let me show you here separately. 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. Okay, so this is the this is our multiplier, this multiplier. Okay, so how to code it? Put an extra 0 here on the right side, then scan from right to left. Okay, 0, 0 is 0, 0, 1 going up means minus 1. 1, 1 is 0, 1, 1 is 0, 1, 1 is 0, 1, 0 going down means plus 1. Then 0, 0 is 0. Have you understood how I have done? This 0 I have added extra. 0, 0 is 0, 0, 1 is minus 1. Okay, 0, 1 is minus 1, 0, 1 is minus 1. Okay, so it's done. Copy this code to the multiplier side. Okay, now let's do the multiplication. Multiplied with 0, everything will be 0. Do the sign extension as well. Okay, so 0, 0, 0, 0 is the output, and rest are the sign extended. Okay, Then -1 multiply with -1. Multiply with -1 means multiplication. The output will be 2's complement of this. What is the 2's complement of this? 1 0 1 0 0 1 1. That is the 2's complement of this. Okay, 2's complement of this. This is 2's complement of m. Okay, so copy this 2's complement in this. Okay, 1 1 0 0 1 0 1, and then rest is extended sign bit. Okay, sign extension. Multiply with 0 is 0 0 0, then plus 1 is copy this part. Okay, copy the whole thing. Okay, 1 0 1 1 0 1, and rest 0 is 0. So in this case, how many number of addition you have to do? Only 2 add. Where is the 2 addition operation? 1 is here, 1 is here. Okay, so only 2 addition operation, and let all other are only shift operation. If we perform it in case of sequential operation after the coding scheme, then what will happen? These things we will just shift right. Here we have to do addition with the 2's complement of m. Here we have to do addition with m. Okay, so only 2 addition operation we have to do. So that is the advantage of Booth's algorithm. And you might be thinking that in sometimes this Booth algorithm might not work good. In which case, suppose there are 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 will be there, lots of 0 1 will be there. In those case, we will get +1 +1 +1 in every steps. So that is the worst case of Booth's algorithm. Okay, so there are worst case are also there, ordinary case is also there, and good case is also there. Okay, it is not that if you are using Booth's algorithm we will be getting best multiplier all the time. Sometimes what happens, in this case 0 1 0 1 0 1, we will get +1 and -1. So instead of 10 multiplication we will get 20 number of addition operation. Okay, in the normal multiplier we will have some zeros, but in the coded multiplier we don't have any zero, so we have to do the addition operation all the steps we have to do the addition operation. Okay, so that is the worst case multiplier. Okay, so and all the time you remember that there is a extra zero on the right side whenever you do the coding scheme. Done. So that's the Booth algorithm, nothing else, very simple. Just use the coding scheme and code the multiplier and then multiply it. Okay, done. Any doubt in this case you can ask. Any doubt? Anyone? So if you find out in YouTube what is Booth's algorithm, you will get some algorithm also, but on book there is no algorithm. On book only this part is explained, but if you want to write it as an algorithm you can write it. Okay, how to write this algorithm? There is a very simple algorithm. Check the 2 bits. Okay, check 2 bits, this I-1 bit and I bit. Okay, always you do the same thing and repeat the loop. Get the 2 bits I-1 and I bit and replace this bit with the coded one. Okay, and if you are getting a -1 you have to multiply with the 2's complement of m. Okay, and whenever you are getting a plus 1, you have to add m, you have to add with normal m. Okay, so that is the algorithm. So algorithm will start with like this, go this side or this side. Here you have to add with a plus m, or here we have to add with a minus m. What is minus m? Minus m is nothing but minus 1 into m. This one, minus 1 into m is nothing but minus m. Minus m means what? The 2's complement of m. What is plus 1 and m? Plus 1 and m is nothing but m, that is the normal m, whatever m is given. So in this case this m is given, you have to multiply with the normal m, and then add it to a. Okay, so that's the normal algorithm, that will you can find out if you search on YouTube. Okay, but up to this it is okay. So both algorithm is over. Okay, there is if any doubt you can ask. Then there is a way to faster this multiplication. You can do the multiplication more faster than the previous case. Okay, so there are two different techniques are available to make the multiplication faster. The first one is how to make it faster. Reduce the number of bits in multiplier. So because the multiplier is having so many bits, we have to do so many multiplication. Okay, how about if we'll do some coding and reduce the number of bits to n by 2, then what will happen? This number of partial products will also reduce to n by 2. Suppose here we will have only 3 bits. So how many times you have to do the multiplication with the multiplicand? Only 3 times. Okay, so that is the main motive from the fast multiplication. Okay, so the how to make it fast? Just reduce the number of bits in the multiplier circuit, multiplier number. So you have to reduce the number of bits in the second number, then you have to do less number of multiplication here. Okay, then the second one is that reduce the time needed to add the partial product. Another time is taken by this partial product is this addition operation. Okay, in all the steps we have to do addition operation of so many numbers. So how about making this part faster? Okay, so that is the second case. Okay, so let's start with the first case. Okay, how to reduce the multiplication, how to reduce the number of bits in multiplier. So this is the technique which is called bit pair recoding of multipliers. Bit pair recoding of multipliers, this is extension of Booth's algorithm. The same technique will be used here. In Booth's algorithm we are checking two numbers and giving a coded value, but here we will be checking three numbers. Okay, and we will give a code. Okay, so how to do that? For that, this is the table. Okay, let's start with this number. There is a number given 11010. Okay, so when obviously we have to give a 0 on the right side like the previous case in Booth algorithm. This is called implied 0 to the right of LSB. Also we have to extend the sign and we have to make it a sign extension, and we have to keep a 1 here because this bit is 1, so we have to extended the sign. Okay, then what we will do, we have to check the 3 bit I minus 1, I and I plus 1, and the output will be on the ith position. Okay, so if it is 0 0 1, that means 1 0 0, where is the 1 0 0 combination? 1 0 0, it will be multiplied, where is that? This one, 1 0 0, so it will be recorded as minus 2. Okay, whenever we are getting 3 bits 1 0 0 1 0 0, it will be minus 2. Okay, so it will be -2. So after these 3 bits are coded, next 3 bits are these 3 bit. Okay, so for this 3 bit it is 101. So 101 -1 is the code, so you have to write -1 here. Then the next 3 bit is this 3 bit. Okay, it is 111. So 111 means 0. So now our multiplier become 0, -1 and -2. So 0, -1 and -2 is the multiplier. Okay, so in this case it is also mentioned that you want to multiply these two things using Booth's algorithm. In Booth's algorithm you will be having 3 number of addition operation, but in this case you will be having only 2 addition operation and there is a 0 operation, means no operation. Okay, one thing you have to remember is that there are only 3 partial products generated here. Here there are 1 2 3 4 5 number of partial products are generated. Okay, so that is the advantage of fast multiplication, this bit pair recording. What it has done, it has taken the multiplier and coded it into n by 2. Okay, so here 1 2 3 4 5 are there, so 5 by 2, that means 3 multiplier you have received at the end. Okay, so you have reduced it, so obviously this multiplication is also reduced. Okay, 1 minute. Sir Vidya, tell me. You have sent me an email, na? Okay, I will check the mail. Okay. Okay, so that's the thing here, bit pair recording. But in you might be thinking what is now +2 and -2 m. Okay, 0 is okay, 1 is okay, 1 is 1 into m, -1 m is the 2's complement of m. Then what is +2m and -2m? Okay, so this thing we will see in the next class, because that example also I have not yet written. So up to this, if you have any doubt you can ask. In the next class we will be doing one example here. Okay, how to do the multiplication, what is -2, what is this -2 is, how this, what is this number, we will see in the next class. Okay, so any doubt up to this? In multiplication, any doubt? From next class onwards we will finish these two, then we'll go for division. Okay, there are two more things left in this chapter. Addition, subtraction, multiplication is over, then division, then after that floating point operation, floating point representation, how to represent 10.2, how to represent 5.5, this representation. Till now we are only representing integer like 10, 12, 22, like this we are representing, but how to represent the decimal number 1.2, 0.5, how to represent these things. Okay, so in this chapter these two things are left, division and floating point representation plus floating point operation. Okay, so if you have any doubt you can ask, unmute and ask.